I'm going to show you as a super user or partner how to authorize time that has been worked in order for it to pull through to our billing report and for you to then create quick and easy invoices. To begin, you will notice that the time log and time authorized tables are duplicates of each other. Your staff will only be able to access the time log table, and the distinctive difference is the actions that are available in the time authorized table. So that is this button over here. Here you will see you can now action this time once you have approved it. How I would typically use the table is filter on a date range that I'm ready to bill for. And so if we focus on our April time here, I'm going to filter on the start period, and I'm only interested in time between 1 April at midnight and the end of April at 23:59. So you can set that filter there, and that is going to filter all of my time for April. I can now review it. You can sort by client if you like. You can sort by the different tasks as well as your accountants and make sure that the time is reasonable. Things like empty fields like this one I would typically remove, or make sure with the staff member that they did not enter a record incorrectly. Once I'm happy with the time to be billed, I'm going to use the checkbox on the left-hand side and select these April records. The filter does not allow the checkbox to go further than what it has filtered. And so I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to authorize this time by moving it to the mark invoice pending. What that does is change it from a pending status to an invoice pending status. And here you can see now all of the time reflects in this table. And again, you can make changes if you need to. But once you are happy, you can now make use of the firm reports, specifically the billing report. And this is going to pull through all of your rates, your retainers that we've discussed, all of the fixed fees, and that time that is sitting in invoice pending. So here you can see the invoice codes and descriptions have pulled through, our prices have pulled through, and it is displayed there per client. And so that is where the time invoice pending generates to a report. Once I have created my invoices based on that information, you can now go and archive this time and mark it as invoiced so that you do not double bill a client. If you at any point decide that you cannot bill the client yet, you can move individual records back to time authorize and hold it back for the next billing cycle. Simply select those records and mark them as time authorize. You can then select the applicable records that you have invoiced and mark them either as internal, so where a client was not selected in the task and it was a training session, for example, I will mark that as internal. And then everything else that I have invoiced a client, I'm going to mark as invoiced. And you will see that that moves it from the time invoice pending table to the time log archive. And here you can access the full history of your firm's time logged and reflect on that in various reports. You can also come and change any status if an invoice was missed by simply selecting that record and applying the applicable action that you need. And that is our time authorize and timekeeping function in DataGrows.